them away, pop the Queen's corgi, pop the Queen in behind the corgi. Then I decided that he just needed to be a little bit more regal, and that's when I decided to create here the Bone Noir wine. So I created, I got a wine bottle and created a wine label, something for the dapper dog, like that's the name, and it's made with contempt by the cats of the palace or something like that. So yeah, I popped that in and popped a wine glass in, but it's sort of like a brownie colour, so it looks like it's bone wine or something like that. And yeah, that's at that point the image really was coming together. I popped that into the State Awards, and they really liked the image, but they did not like the movement on the dog. They didn't understand the movement, it wasn't working. So I actually pulled the movement out for APA and just refined it a little bit, and that was part of my portfolio that got me Australian Pet Photographer of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a big title. So was Electronic Dog after this, or was that part of that portfolio?
That was part of that portfolio. So with that image, it actually started off after the APA in 2008, no, it would have been 2018, yeah, when I won Emerging Photographer. After that, I did a calendar for my actual business, and that was, I did basic composites and just got all of these ideas. So there was 12 different ideas, and that came from that. So I had this dog come in, the Scottish Terrier, and he had the fringe over the eye, you know, the big beard, and I was like, well, this is a hipster dog. We've got to turn him into a DJ. And I did that very basically for the calendar, and it was in the beginning of 2019 that I started to work on that image even more and expand it. And, you know, I gave him glasses and a beanie and a scarf and started putting in all the lights. I borrowed a friend's decks, what do you call them, DJing decks things, and photographed those, put them on some crates. And yeah, and that's how that image came together.
So all this Photoshop work is quite complex and obviously takes a lot of your time. Is this the sort of thing that you would do for your clients?
Look, generally I don't do this sort of work for my clients. I do this as a creative outlet for myself. So I shoot so many dogs a year, and it is very much a rinse and repeat kind of situation. I keep my lighting set up and everything very basic so that my results for my clients are consistent. So there's not a lot of room for creativity there. This kind of work is where I really get to thrive, and it gets me out of that headspace of work and into my artist self, I guess, and that's where I can start experimenting. So I don't really want to do this for clients to have to stick to a brief and to satisfy somebody else's itch. This work's all about me, I guess. Hi, I'm Belinda Richards from Frog Dog Studios, and I'm so honoured to be here at PSC's Playground today. I'd like to thank Kim Griffiths for inviting me on behalf of the Refocus Retreat. You've just seen Jo Howell present an amazing workshop working with people and pets. Now I'm about to show you what to do with just working with pets. So welcome, I'm about to show you a different lighting setup to what Jo just showed you, and I'm also only going to be working directly with Mia. First of all, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the light setup that I'm using. As you can see, I've got a darker backdrop. Instead of flooding the area with light, I actually want to use more directional light. So I am using some Elinchrom 500s for my backlight here, along with these strip boxes with grids on them. The reason why I'm doing that is to direct the light so that we don't have too much overspill into our black background. I generally have these metered to 5.6, and then I use this one here. So we've got an Octabox on here today, and we have that metered for f8. And the reason why I have it positioned where it is because I really want the light to be looking down, just skimming the top of the dog's head. And that way we'll get these nice little half moon catch lights, and rather than squares. So dogs' eyes don't reflect light the way that human beings do. So you will find if you don't have an even light source, you're going to get reflections all over the eyes, and you'll be spending all day trying to remove those in Photoshop. Can actually make the dog look a little bit evil. Yeah, so that's basically my 3-light setup for a dark background. When we position the dog, we want to keep the dog away from the back of the backdrop because we want to have the light not spill onto the backdrop. Because we're trying to create a backdrop today. Because of the way I've got my light positioned, unfortunately we will get spill from this light onto the floor, and I'll show you in editing how we can actually make that really work for us, and rather than having our floating dog in a black space, we'll actually use that so that we've got a grounded dog that looks like it is where it is with natural shadows. So I'm just going to start off by showing you the toys that I use to get our dog's attention. As you can see, Mia is very interested in what I've got here. She's very toy motivated. I do tend to use treats, and I use toys for those dogs that aren't treat motivated, but you need to find out off the owner what it is that motivates their dog. If you've got a dog who's as toy motivated as Mia, you want to not start off with the toys because it gets them revved up too quick, and you want to have your dog nice and relaxed for the shoot, so we don't want her all huffy and puffy and giving us a big Joker grin. But first of all, I've got a ball here. This one does have a squeaker in it. It also smells like peanut butter. The dogs absolutely love it, and it's got a really good bounce on it so that you can get some really good catch shots with this one. This one is a $5 toy I found at Kmart. It has a great noise, and Mia's about to lose her mind. All right, now this is my favourite set of noisemakers. I've got this tribal necklace thing here with all sorts of bits and bobs hanging off it. We've got a squirrel caller and a duck caller, a few different whistles, some squeaky toys. Because what happens is dogs do get bored with the noises that we're making. You're killing me. So what happens, unfortunately, dogs do get bored with the noise that you're making. So if you've only got one single noise or one single toy, you will find that they will get over it very quickly. And that's why I have quite an array to help me get them to look at the camera at the time that I need. So I always work with an animal handler. My animal handler is the same person that I use for every single shoot. We work really well together, and because we've been doing it so long together, we're in sync. If you're just starting out with a new animal handler, you are going to need to tell them exactly what you want them to do. And eventually you will work out a relationship that works so that you really don't even need to talk to each other during the shoot. I do this, I never do it by myself. I find that I could never get the expressions that I get and the action shots that I get by working by myself. So I feel it's very important that you have an animal handler, a well-trained animal handler that animals gravitate towards as well. We're just going to start off with something easy. What I'm trying to do with these lights is get a nice backlight on Mia. That's something that I really love is that golden glow around a dog, and you'll find it gives a really nice separation from the background. So that's why we've got them angled the way that we do today, and I've got them down really low because Mia's really low. So we'll bring her in, and we're just going to start off with some basic, just sitting, staying. You can see we've got a beautiful collar around Mia today. She's looking like a Kardashian. All right, now what I'm going to do is I don't know how Mia's going to go with these noises because she has worked already a lot with us today, but normally I would use these noisemakers to get an epic head tilt, which owners absolutely love every single time. So if you can get a head tilt on a dog, you've got to make some money. All right, we're going to try a different one.
Is that in the right spot?
Oh, that's cute, yeah.
Wait.
Didn't work, hey? All right. So right now I've got Jo just working with Mia, because if I've got to work with Mia and control the camera and the lights, I am going to be up and down, up and down, up and down, and Mia's never going to stay that long while I'm moving around. I might just get Mia to come forward just a wee bit. There we go.
Wait.
So Mia definitely doesn't care about the noises. You will find most dogs who haven't heard these noises before will give you a head tilt straight away every time. But be warned, it might only be the one. Some dogs, I'll do it once and that's it. So be ready to capture the moment. All right, so with my posing, I generally, like Mia's a low rider, so it is hard for us to get a really nice sit out of Mia. But what we do with these dogs is, well, if we can't get them to sit, we'll get them to stand. Because she is so low to the ground, a really good standing shot can work really well. Now, what I would do, I always do with these dogs, is I always go down on the floor even further. All right, so Jo, I'm going to get you to take her back to where she was, and we're going to do a laying down shot first. We'll do it on an angle, yep. So if you bring her over around this way.
Stop. Stay. Wait. 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 Oh, good girl. I'll just give her a reward because she's getting
Yep. So pretty. Awesome. So Mia's really well trained, so that's it. That's all I have to do to get that photo for Mia. But what we're going to do now is we're going to try and get a nice standing shot. She's got this gorgeously long body, and we want to make sure that we show that for the owner. Owners really want to see the characteristics of their dog, so it is definitely important to try and show the fact that she does have a long body. All right, so the other thing I'll just mention here is the standing shot is the hardest shot for us to get because all dogs, for the most part, the first thing they're taught is to sit. So we'll find sometimes we need to actually get them walking forward rather than standing in the one spot. Mia's really well trained, so we'll see how she goes. But she's pretty good though. All right. Stop. All right. So here, we're going to make Jo work for her money here.
Wait.
All right, we want.
She's not an angle.
No, she's not. We want to try and get her onto an angle a little bit.
Stop. Wait.
That's it.
Wait.
Hey, Mia, where's your happy face?
She will not do her happy face unless she's panting.
Yes, we'll get that going in a minute. So as you can see there, I waited for Mia to walk forward towards the camera, and being down really low the way that I am is going to give us a really good angle of not only her face, but it's going to show that her body is long. Normally I would try and get one, if you can get one with a tail wagging at the same time, you have sold a piece of wall art there. So I don't know how Mia's going to go because she's, like I said, she's been working all day, harder than we have.
Maybe if we do a little bit of it.
The next thing that I'm going to show you is just a couple of natural shots of Mia walking past. Sometimes it's just really nice to get those movement shots for the owners. Do you like to come back? Yeah, no. Yep. Oh. I'm going to try one more time.
You want it coming this way, going that way?
Yeah, that's fine.
And she's like, I've got the toy now. Yeah, she's real well trained.
She's got the ball. Always be prepared to catch that shot when they're up to no good.
Please don't use any of this butt. Sit. Come over here. Sit. I know you're getting frustrated, right? Ready?
Hold on a sec. Yep. So another shot that's really great to get is the dog walking towards you. I know we did that while we were laying down, but we're going to try and get this also with just from a slightly higher angle. So I'll get you to sit her back there. All right, so we're just going to get Mia to walk towards the camera.
She's going to probably run rather than walk.
Okay, yep, we'll try and see how it goes. All right, come on, Mia. Well, sometimes it doesn't work. So I got her too soon, so she was outside of the lights.
Wait.
Right. Yep. All right. Oh, look at that beautiful girl. So as you can see, like I was talking about before, we are getting a lot of light spillage onto the background, so we won't have a completely black floor, but we will show you how to fix that up in editing and make it look like it was an intentional sort of spotlight. All right, so now we're going to just use a small prop here to show you how I use props with the animals. We've just got a small poof or footstool here today that we're going to get Mia to sit on, and we are going to put this gorgeous bow tie on her because her mum has requested it. So is Mia ready? Come on. Good girl, Mia. All right. You're such a good girl, Mia. Show us, are you beautiful? Yeah. Lovely. All right. So I still always sit down low when they're on furniture. I sometimes, depending if I've got a really large dog on a really big couch, I'll obviously elevate myself a bit. I've got a little footstool that I sit on. But for today, because we've just got a little poof and we've got just me as only a small dog, I'm still going to sit on the floor and take that image. All right, what I'd like to do is get Mia to bring her front round to face me a little bit more. Okay. All right, let's have a look and see how that went. So this one's quite a cutie. We've got a nice smile from Mia now, which is lovely. You can see everything's in focus. We do get a little bit of a shadow under the chin. You'll always get that with this kind of lighting setup, and but it doesn't look too bad here. Sometimes with dogs with bigger jaws, that will be quite prominent, and we will sort of lighten that up a bit in the Photoshop. The other thing I do is I've also got a little light sometimes that I'll sit down here to cast a little bit of light up onto the chest area, because reflectors, they get in the way and they get moved around a lot. Dogs jump on them. They're kind of a bit useless in this situation. So I do have a little portable light that I'll sit here as well. All right, Mia, drop. Good girl. Oh, that's beautiful. Good girl. No, you're right. Good girl. All right, let's have a look and see what we've got. All right. This one's a cute one. So you can see with this particular image here, we've gotten a really nice halo of light on the ground. So we're not going to have to do too much to that to actually make that look like it's a nice, beautiful spotlight that's on the dog. All right. Okay, Jo, can we get Mia sitting up and we might do a little bit of high five?
Ooh. Do you want my hand in there?
I would prefer your hand wasn't there, but we'll see how Mia goes. So high five's a tricky one. It depends on the dog, and sometimes they're not shaped enough for you to be able to get your hand out of the photo. Mia's legs are quite short, so we'll just see how she goes.
Sit. High five. She's good. Sit. Sit. Up. Wait. High five.
Good girl.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right.
Wait. Yeah. High five. High five. High five. You can do it. High five.
Good girl. So what I would do with, I think we got it there.
The other thing I could do is try a jump up high five.
Oh, yes, yep.
Back it up a little bit. Back. Okay, ready? High five.
So Mia's getting tired.
Ready? High five. High five. You can do it. High five.
Good girl. All right, so this is quite a cute shot that we've been able to get here. Let's show her mum. Right, and sometimes they just do really cute things, so you've got to be prepared to capture that moment straight away. Like Mia's slowed right down, but sometimes you'll get a dog that'll do this and it's literally instant. So that's one of the great things about working with a handler, is that I can just then concentrate on what I'm seeing through my viewfinder and capture that moment straight away. Hey Mia! All right, and you will come up with a plethora of noises that you like to use yourself. Yes, yeah, so we're going to try what Jo keeps referring to as sassy pants. I usually call it sexy pants, but you know. Basically we're going to get Mia to look, to sit facing the back and try and get her to look towards the camera so that we can get that back shot of her. Would you like to take the bow off her? Because that is going to impede that shot. Good girl. All right. So we got a bit of a side eye shot here from Mia, which is quite cute. But we'll try. Do you want to try that one more time?
Yeah.
Gonna try again? We'll try one more time.
Where's that?
Where's my chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, don't let her see it. Hey, what's one got? You got the whole bag there.
Come on.
You got the whole bag.
Oh, she's alive again. Look at that tail.
You cannot have my chicken.
It's too high a reward. You can see it sticking out the side of your back. Do you want me to see she'll high five for this?
There you go. All right, so it's time for me to have just a little bit of a break and we will get some peanut butter and we will have some fun getting some quirky faces in a second. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is how I work with dogs with peanut butter. Now, peanut butter can be a bit of saving grace. If you've got a dog that is nervous and will not stop pacing or won't stay in the one spot, peanut butter can be your trick to getting them to stay where you need them so that you can get the shots that you need for the owners. And I find with the peanut butter, apart from getting just some silly goofy faces, which is always fun, if you time it right, you can get the dog looking really cute and sweet or with a smile as well. So it can be used for both purposes, not just for getting silly, goofy, tongue out type shots. So we've got Mia up on the poof. Because she's a little dog, I do actually like to elevate the little dogs, and that way I can frame it up better. And yeah, so what I'll get, I'm just going to get Jo now. So you always use your animal handler to give Mia some peanut butter. We're going to sit her up first, and then Mia's going to have a treat.
Do you have any way that you like to give it to her?
Let me just. All right. So what I'll do is I'll get you to give it to Mia, like whether you pop it on the roof of her mouth or what, you know your dog, so you know where to put it. Most of the time I would just put it on the roof of their mouth or under their lips, depending on, some dogs will just lick it and you don't need to. So, and then I'll get you to bring her eyesight down to the camera lens for me.
I'll grab the other.
Oh, and she's off. That's all right.
Up.
Whoa, a bit wonky. So this is another thing that Jo was talking about earlier, about having your furniture secure. So if that happened with a nervous dog, they won't get back up there.
You can do it. Come on, baby. Good girl. Sit. Do you want to
All right, yes, if we can bring her front round towards me a little bit more.
you turn? Do you mind that she's...
All right, that's good. That's a good spot. All right, so I'll get you to bring her eyesight down. I might actually use this. Well, that's lots. So you can see how we were able to get Mia to stay in the one spot. She's completely focused on what I'm doing. I mean, she's focused obviously on licking the peanut butter off of her nose or under her gums. But generally once they stop licking the peanut butter, we'll then have a really good moment to get a really great shot. So if you're struggling with that, this is the time. All right, here we go. So yeah, so look, it's something that I've used a lot over the years with dogs that I can't get to look at the camera, or nervous dogs, is if you get them in that headspace, they will relax and you will be able to get that really nice shot once they've finished licking up the peanut butter. At the moment, let's have a look and see what shots we got from Mia. Oh, hold on a second, there's one of those moments. Mia! Good girl. All right. So you can see with putting her up on the poof at this point, the peanut butter ones then, because she's looking down on the camera, it gives her a little bit of distortion, which makes the images a little bit funnier. And I find putting these into my design and ordering appointment when I do the slideshow, even if they don't purchase the images, it helps everyone to relax because it gives them a good laugh. All right, so I'm just looking through the images at the moment to see what we've got. I always do this at the end of any kind of sort of, I guess, section when we've tried a new pose or we're trying a new prop or something like that, just to make sure that we've got what we intended to get. So I find with peanut butter shots and that, you will throw a lot of them out. It's the beauty of digital photography. You can just delete them, but look at that beautiful one there. Just before she was about to get the peanut butter, we've got a beautiful face there that the owners are going to adore. So I think that is it for that. Have you had enough peanut butter? Never enough. All right. So thanks for joining me today. I really hope that you got something out of that. I hope that you can now take some of what I've taught you and go and put that into practice with your own pets at home or your clients' pets. If you would like to know more about me, you can check out my client work at frogdogstudios.com.au, or you can check out my artist work at belindarichards.com. Post your images on Instagram and tag me, Belinda Richards Artist or Frog Dog Studios. I'd love to see what you come up with. I would also like to say thank you so much to the staff at PSC for having me part of the PSC playground. Thanks to Nikon, thanks to Refocus Retreat, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Beautiful. Did I get it?
Are we on now? Well, welcome back. And that concludes our last session at PSC Playground for 2021. Wasn't that an awesome session? And what a well-behaved little dog. Good on you, Mia. Woof, woof. I was listening to all those whistles. So cute that she loves her snacks and her toys. I think you can come and teach my dog some manners. Well done to all of you. Belinda and Jo, absolutely brilliant pet photographers. Such a great job. And to Kim, I know there was a lot of work behind the scenes in getting that recording to the stage it was. Well done to all of you. We so look forward to seeing you at Refocus Retreat and doing the pet photography again in person. So on behalf of everyone at Nikon Australia, I would like to thank our industry partners, KL, Australian Photography Awards, Refocus Retreat, the Brown Bill Effect, Story Art, Melbourne Headshot Company, Memento Pro and Epson for all your support and involvement in the PSC Playground. There is a reminder that there's a number of fabulous education offers from all of the industry partners and also the chance to win yourself a Nikon Z5 kit valued at $2,500 by entering in the student category of the Australian Photography Awards. So please check out their entry and the offers on the competition page of the Australian Photography Awards. The entries close on the 18th of October, so you've still got a bit of time. Now, the PSC Playground was brought to you by 5 Nikon Z mirrorless cameras, which was switched through an Atom Extreme switcher. And the entire production, the lighting, the audio, the cameras, these are all run by the PSC students. So drum roll here. I would like to do one very last big, really big, huge shout out to the fabulous broadcast team, Josh, Dane and Maddie. Let's switch to camera 1 and ask you to please come to the psych. And please take a bow.
That was the best, most prepared closing bow ever.
You guys have worked so well together, total professionals. It was a lot of fun and it was a lot of hard work. So thank you so very much on behalf of all of us. Please stay there for us just for a moment. I would also like to thank Julie Moss, the Director of PSC, Kat Vinella. Come up here, Kat. Ollie Dauncey, come up here, Ollie. And Jerry Valenzuela. Come on, Jerry. Come on, Jezza, up you come. For your support of this event. Michael Mulborough from KL, our fabulous partners. Thank you so much. Your workshop was amazing.
Thank you, Julie.
Yep, definitely going to get my kaleidoscope out. I'd also like to thank, as I said, the rest of the people behind the scenes and all of the presenters that were here. It was a fantastic job. If you missed a session or you'd like to watch it on playback, please go to the PSC YouTube channel. We're hoping that those recordings will be up sometime early next week. So check them out, worth seeing. Kat, did you want to say a few words? Because I'd really like to say thank you so much for everything you've done. It was an enormous job.
Absolute pleasure. I just wanted to thank everyone at home that came into the world of the PSC Playground, and of course all of our supporters, sponsors, of course Margot from KL, Julie from Nikon. Yeah. We'll switch. I just want to thank you all at home and thank all of the sponsors and partners for coming into the PSC Playground, and of course our beautiful students, to which this would not be live. Good old Oliver Dauncey and Jerry, the internet man. Again, thank you all for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you in person and virtually next year.
Take a bow, everyone. That's a wrap.
And thanks, Black.